Am I the asshole for putting hot peppers in my sandwich? It was an ordinary Monday morning when I walked into the break room at work, lunchbox in hand. For the past month, my day had started with this same routine, placing my carefully crafted Italian sandwich in the communal refrigerator and counting down the hours until lunch. But little did I know, this day would spiral into chaos and leave me questioning everything. For the last few weeks, my sandwich had started mysteriously disappearing. Not every day, but often enough to ruin my mood. It was more than just a lunch to me. It was a moment of joy in my workday, a taste of something I loved amidst the monotony. I reported it to my boss, Sandra, and she promised to look into it. Weeks passed and nothing changed. Occasionally, my sandwich would vanish, leaving me to scrounge up something from the vending machine. I started to wonder if this was just a small workplace prank, or if someone had a serious lack of boundaries. Last week, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I spent my lunch break casually observing the fridge, pretending to scroll through my phone. That's when I saw her. Sandra. She opened the fridge, took out my sandwich, and casually walked away as if it were hers. My heart raced as I watched. My own boss was the sandwich thief. The betrayal was surreal, but what came next was something I could have never predicted. Memories of an offhand comment Sandra had made weeks earlier floated to my mind. She'd been chatting with a coworker and mentioned she couldn't handle spicy food, particularly hot peppers. An idea formed in my mind. I didn't want to confront her directly. She was my boss after all. But maybe I could send a message. The next morning, I made my sandwich as usual, but added a secret ingredient, a generous layer of spicy pepper spread. I wasn't worried. I love spicy food, and I figured if she hated it, she'd simply stop taking my lunch. Problem solved, right? Wrong. That day, I stationed myself near the break room again. Sure enough, Sandra took my sandwich. I felt a small, guilty satisfaction as I watched her walk away. But then, an hour later, chaos erupted. Sandra's office door flew open, and she stumbled out, gasping for air. Her face was flushed, and she looked panicked. "Help!" she managed to choke out before collapsing into a chair. I rushed over, adrenaline pumping. "Sandra, what happened?" Through wheezes, she explained that her throat felt like it was closing. My heart sank as it dawned on me. Could it be the peppers? I called 911 immediately, and the paramedics arrived within minutes. They administered treatment and rushed her to the hospital. Later, we found out she had a severe allergy to capsaicin, the compound that makes peppers spicy. She'd gone into anaphylactic shock. The next day, Sandra was back at work, but the atmosphere was tense. She called me into her office, where she berated me for what she called a juvenile stunt that could have cost her her life. I tried to explain that I had no idea she was allergic. "You were stealing my lunch," I blurted out, the frustration finally spilling over. Her face turned red, but not from the peppers this time. She denied it at first, but eventually admitted to it, saying she hadn't brought lunch one day, tried mine, and found it irresistible. She claimed she'd intended to stop, but kept forgetting to bring her own food. Now HR is involved. They're trying to determine if disciplinary action is warranted, for both of us. Sandra insists I intentionally tried to harm her, while I maintain that I was just trying to stop the theft. I've been asked to write a formal statement, and rumors are swirling among coworkers. And here's the twist that keeps me up at night. Was this whole mess worth it? Since the incident, the break room fridge has been outfitted with a new lock system. Everyone has been given individual lunchbox compartments with keys. It's a solution, I suppose, but it feels like closing the barn door after the horse has bolted. The situation has me questioning everything. Was I wrong to add the peppers? Should I have confronted her directly instead? Is this going to affect my job security? Sandra, meanwhile, is threatening legal action. She claims my actions were reckless and endangered her life. I've consulted a lawyer who assures me that as long as I didn't know about her allergy, I'm unlikely to face serious consequences. But the stress is eating away at me. Every time I walk into work, I feel the weight of the incident hanging over me. My coworkers have mixed opinions. Some think Sandra got what she deserved for stealing. Others feel I went too far. A few have joked about starting a lunch defense club to protect their meals. I've taken to eating lunch at my desk now, my appetite soured by the drama. The once enjoyable ritual of my Italian sandwich has been tainted, replaced by a sense of dread. I'm left wondering, did I cross a line, or was I simply standing up for myself in an unconventional way? And now, as I sit here typing this, I'm left with one burning question. Is there such a thing as justice in the break room? So, am I the asshole for putting hot peppers in my sandwich?